I had a friend who told me that he climbed the ladder of success only to discover after all that hard work that when he got to the top, he'd put it against the wrong building. That's how we do sometimes in grief ministry. We don't really accomplish our goal of helping people move from mourning to joy because we've done the wrong thing too long. You know, practice doesn't really make perfect. It simply makes permanent. If we practice wrong, it feels good, but it's not right. If you want to see a grown man cry, let a golf professional watch me swing a golf club. It just doesn't come out right. I hit the ball, but it doesn't go in the right place or the right distance. What we want to do, though, is quit missing steps up that ladder towards success. And success will be our helping grieving people effectively. So the question is, what steps can we take to help us along the way? I read a book by Nancy Guthrie called What Grieving People Wish You Knew. From that, I draw these thoughts and ask three questions. What can we do? What should we not do? And what can we say to help us really be effective in helping grieving people? Here are some positive principles for doing. First, let the grieving person know that we really do care about them. Someone has said, we don't really care how much people know until we know how much people care. Second, we need to listen more than we talk. When we look in the mirror, we see that we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth, a visual reminder to us in ministry that we need to listen more than we talk. And then we use our 2 eyes to show compassion and love as we focus on the people that we're ministering to. Third, we value their grief. It's real, it's important, it's really happening, and we need them to know we understand they're involved in a real life situation. Fourth, we need to pray as we talk with them. This is a good time for multitasking. We pray while we're saying things. We ask the Lord for guidance and for deliverance. In fact, a 5th suggestion would be that we trust the Lord to guide us in everything we say and do. Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and let Him direct your path." Finally, we offer practical help, like going to get groceries, or making appointments with them or for them, about working through some of their financial scrambled egg mess that they have to unscramble. Then there are some things that we should not do, negatives that we need to consider. First of all, we don't assume that we know how they feel, that they have good family relationships, for instance, that they are going through their grief like we would go through ours. And whatever we do, we must not say, "I know how you feel," because we don't have any idea really how they feel. We may know how we would feel, but the important thing is how they feel. And then we don't make it about us. We start saying, "I feel," "I did," "I would." We focus on the grieving person and not on us as we talk and as we minister to them. We don't need to be afraid of tears. We're out of our comfort level perhaps, but we forget that tears need to mix with laughter, that both are all right, that tears have a cleansing factor in them, and they're important as a part of the grieving process. So don't be afraid of a few tears, either by them or in your own eyes as well. And then we don't want to be nosy. We don't need to know every detail about their situation. And linked with that, we don't gossip. Just because we know it doesn't mean we have to tell it. They need to have the assurance of knowing that what they say to us stays with us. So we've looked at what we ought to do and what we ought not to do. Let's look for a moment at what can we say when we're doing this ministry. First of all, I think an appropriate thing to do is to say, "I don't know what to say, but I really miss your loved one. I will never forget him." Or perhaps we could say, "One of my favorite memories of your loved one is fishing together with your grandson, or working together when feeding the homeless." And then it's always good to say, I thought of loved one, the day when I heard her favorite song on the radio, or the day where I saw one of her favorite foods, and I thought how much she would have enjoyed that with us. And then it's always appropriate to say, you know, I wish I could take some of your pain. I know I can't, but I want you to know I'm feeling it with you. And then sometimes it's good to say, you know, I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. I wish you didn't have to go through this. And instead of saying, how are you doing? Try saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me today how you're feeling, with 1 being terrible and 10 being wonderful. Let me know. Rate it so that I'll understand where you are today. And you know, sometimes you just don't have to use words at all. Silence can be golden. So let's get out of our comfort zones. Let's take steps toward being a better helper in grief situations. In other words, don't stare up the steps, step up the stairs and minister. And Paul's right. The Apostle Paul said in Philippians 4:13, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. Have a great journey in helping others on their journey from mourning to joy.